What is this?
Some podcast with Byron Gaines. This tutorial talked about destiny and how he's a completely broken person. Want to become financially free? Join the real world led by Andrew Tate himself. There's actually not a lot of time left, and if you put in the hard work, you will not be disappointed by the results. Check the first link in the description. Alright, so Fresh and Fit dropped a podcast with the tutorial shooter very recently, and I found this clip of them talking about destiny and how he's completely in the trenches when it comes to life, and you probably will find this interesting as well. So yeah, leave a like on the video, subscribe, notifications for the latest updates, and just check out this clip.
It's funny you mentioned these haters. I didn't even know these sorts of people existed until, last year or so. Yeah. Every one of these loud, sort of left-leaning haters coming after the Tates, wow, they have terrible lives.
Yeah.
They're not happy people, man. That blue-haired guy, I don't want to even say his name, the one who's recently insulting Islam, and then complaining that people were making negative comments back at him. Strange. Claims to be an intelligent man, but doesn't realize that if you insult the religion of 1.1 or 1.2 billion people, you might get some negative comments thrown back at you.
Yeah, that one's smart.
He's a committed. He lives with a woman who is sleeping with other men, and he's okay with that. Yeah. How do people exist like that? It is so haram, and you can see it in him. He's clearly a broken person. But if you're a broken person who's allowing other men to plow through your woman, what credibility do you have to give opinions on anything? Keep your mouth shut. Go and fix your life before you want to throw shade at
What do these guys even do? It's so crazy to me that like don't give your opinion on life. Instead, we're gonna follow Andrew Tate, who made his whole living gambling. Talk about haram, gambling, and then even if you think his webcam business wasn't sex trafficking, which it was, they admit that all they did was they scammed men. That's all they did the entire time. Like, you guys aren't role models. Like, you're fat, your hair is gray, you're balding. Like, what are you? Like, it's not like you're the prototypical, at least Andrew Tate is like muscular, right? Even if he has no chin and he's balding. But like, I mean, like, who are you guys to be like role models for the next generation? Like, at least I don't claim to be, you know? I play video games, I talk politics, I hope people bite like a good thought process from me, but that's it. I'm not here trying to be a role model for the next world. You guys are out here worshiping a religion that you don't even know anything about. Like, well, maybe this guy does. He might be like an actual like Muslim, but...
People are actually living fulfilling daily realities. These people are, I didn't know they existed. It's really an interesting social experiment to analyze the fact that they think they have a right to say anything about men who are vastly superior in every metric in life to them, apart from the fact that they have a few people who watch them on the internet. Yeah. Fix your life, friend. Yeah. It's quite simple.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why this type of content has blown up in popularity, because there was a void. There was a void in pro-masculine content in the West, and it's like it blew up because guys needed it. They were tired of being lied to. They were tired of being told.
He's got the Viagra red face.
To be a slave and not chase excellence and go ahead and just chase girls and be a loser, and it's okay to be
I hope I never reach the point in life where I have to get rich by selling a self-help course. I feel like that's when you finally like rock bottomed in terms of like, how do I make money? And it's like, I'm gonna sell a course to teach people how to like be like me, and then the reason why I'm popular and famous because I'm selling that course. That's like the ultimate like level of internet like relevancy, I think.
Get a participation trophy. We're coming in and letting guys know, like, no, you're gonna have to work and you're gonna have to perform, and yeah, it is a meritocracy. It's not everyone participates and gets a trophy, and I think that's something that was very important in getting guys woken up.
Now, I completely agree with what he's saying here. I don't see a point of you just trying to insult a religion of 1.1 billion people or whatever the amount was, and then actually crying.
I also hate how like imagine if you plugged religion with anything else. These guys are, this is why I hate these reactionary morons. These guys are SJWs, but instead of worshiping like a purple-haired, like septum-piercing woman, they worship like imaginary gods that they don't even read holy books about, right? Like, oh, I guarantee you these guys are probably talking about like, oh, you should be able to insult anybody, freedom of speech is important, like all of these blah, blah. But as soon as it comes to Muhammad, you guys are gonna clutch pearls over it? Give me a break. And it's, it's the ultimate out too, because they're like living in the UAE and they don't want to get in trouble by all of their little dick suck friends around them. They don't want to have people like, causing shit for them. You guys give into these exact same social pressures that you tell everybody else to fight against. You guys give into the exact same people telling you, don't make fun of that, don't make jokes about that, as everybody else. You're just doing it from the other side. Like, you're the exact same thing as like the blue-haired SJWs you guys are screeching about. Literally the exact same thing.
Because someone disagrees with you. People like that are absolute losers. He has blue hair, he has the whole woke persona and the physical appearance as well.
The whole woke persona? Like, what?
Completely shameful, bro. Yeah, guys, give me your thoughts on
And I bet he says I have the whole woke persona, obviously not having any idea who I am, but I bet this guy, anytime you insult Andrew Tate, he's like, have you seen the 52-hour podcast, actually, where he explains how women are property? Actually, if you watch the 12-part series on Hustlers University, when he says that he owns his women, he's like, you have to watch the 15-hour show, you have to see the 7-hour edition, you have to buy the course. Like, get the and you make all these assumptions about my life because you're some insecure little Muslim? Come on, dude. Give me a break.
In the comments below, be sure to click one of the videos on screen.
I might dye my hair pink next, just because I see how absolutely mentally broken these losers get over it all. I need to get like a pink suit for it. Jesus.
Alright, so it seems like Andrew Tate's friend Rory is gonna attend the protest, and that's absolutely insane. Want to become financially free? Join the
All these guys were anti-SJW brown people haters 5 years ago, guaranteed. True, probably.
Before I used to think a lot of these people were just out to make money. Now I'm pretty much convinced that all of this is just like a grift for a supporting them.
Oh, you think it's a grift? Yeah.
I have to believe that. Like, if you go after women saying, "Oh, you guys don't have logic, this and that," and you bring your studies and all these other things, and then when confronted with evidence, your response is, "It's AI,
Yeah.
it's artificial intelligence." Like, how do I not look at you different? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably been. I think that's probably been the biggest change for me. What about you? Has there been any change for you and your perspective of the red pill after this?
I don't think it's a grift. I think they all legitimately believe it. But I think they're emotional, like everybody is. You've got your guy, you really like him, you want to defend him, so people get emotional over it, and then they use their inner feelings instead of like being logical.
Wait, are you saying men can be just as emotional as women?
Yeah, go figure. How crazy is that, huh? Like I said, I always wish I could like lock some of these people in a room and present a whole bunch of evidence for what's going on. But instead of Andrew Tate, it's Hunter Biden that was recorded saying this shit. And then at the very end, I could reveal, like, after getting their feelings on, what do you feel that Hunter Biden said? He likes to make women fall in love and blah blah blah. And they're like, oh, that's the worst thing in the world. How could you ever blah 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 blah? And then like reveal, like, actually it was this conservative guy that said Andrew Tate. Yeah.
Yo, forget your, that whole change my mind series. Forget that. You should go to one of those Andrew Tate rallies, and then literally record yourself talking to people and then saying, "This is stuff that Hunter Biden said. Do you think he's guilty?"
Mm-hmm.
And then fucking flip it and just say, "Actually, no, Andrew Tate said that."
Yeah.
I would pay money to watch that.
It's super sad. I've only done that type of setup once in my life. It was when I was debating Fuentes over whether or not like black people or Mexicans could integrate to the United States. And I think I read a quote from some race realist, and it was basically like describing like Hispanic people have their own culture. They've come here together and formed their own enclaves, and because of the way that they live in their environment and work with their own and speak their own languages, they'll never integrate, blah, blah, blah. And I read in the corner, I was like, do you roughly agree with this position? And he's like, yeah, 100% I agree with it. Like, this is the truest thing I've ever heard, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, this is like a quote from somebody else describing Italians when they came over in the United States. And obviously nobody thinks that they're not, right? So it was kind of funny to pull that, but yeah, I think people are going to be really biased towards everybody's like very ideologically poisoned. Like, that's it. That's like where most of their opinions come from. Like, is this my guy? Yes, I support it. Is it not my guy? Then no, I don't. And I'm going to backwards ration out whatever the I have to in order to get to that position. And it's just really silly.
This is the bot programming that you've fallen under.
Yep.
I could see the feminist brainwashing that's lead you to believe that a righteous, God-fearing man would engage in this kind of behavior. And you have to believe that because you believe in Satan.
True and based. No.
I wish I could do that. Every time I disagree with someone, just call them a bot in feminist program. I want to start saying that.
I will say I think he laughed a little because he might have realized it was like really ridiculous what he was saying. But it was funny because Sneako was like, I think when I was on a stream with Pixie and Aaron, Sneako was like, I can tell just by this that you probably got the vax, you probably did that, blah, 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 because you're a bot. And as soon as he said that, I was like, okay, well, hold on. I can listen to like 2 things a red pillar says, and I can probably guess that they're like pro-Trump, anti-Ukraine war, anti-vaccination, anti-blah, blah, blah. And I read off like 10 positions, and he was like, and he said, well, that's different because those things are all true. but he laughed a little bit when he said, I was like, you realize how dumb you sound, right? That this is like, you are a bot, like just as much in. But I don't know if he laughed because it was awkward or because he realized it was a little ridiculous what he was saying. But like, yeah, that was funny. I've heard people say that before. We're also like, but don't you believe this? And they're like, yeah, but those are all true. And I was like, yeah, doesn't everybody think that?
Yeah, my favorite I think was when you were talking to him and Pearly, and they were like, people's personal experiences matter, and like, because enough people believe it, then that's great, and that's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you got to talk to people. That's the real data. And you're like, well, what if 10,000 people believed that the Earth was flat? Would you believe it? And it was like a giant pause. And they just never came up with an answer to that. And I thought that was so telling.
Yeah.
They'll do this whole thing where it's like, oh, this is the popular belief, therefore it's true. And I thought your counter was like very eloquently put. It was like, just because a lot of people believe it doesn't necessarily make it true.
Yeah.
And then you hit with that. How did you find debating the two of them? Did you enjoy that process? Did you feel like you handedly dismantled a lot of the ideas that they had to the general neutral public?
I think Sneako's more fun because he's a bit more honest and conversationally adept. I don't like the Just Pearly thing tactic of being like, oh, I don't know, I'm just asking questions and I don't have any, like, at least Sneako come full out like, yeah, I believe in the Matrix and that this is happening and this is blah blah blah. It's like, okay, cool. But whereas Just Pearl will do this like really obnoxious, like, I don't know, I'm just asking, I don't have any strong opinions on this at all, and here's a really pointed question and statement I'm gonna make about it. Like, that was so irritating.
Wasn't she the one who said, yeah, have you ever watched a full Andrew Tate podcast?
Oh, yeah, and then she just let it hang, and it's like, did you want to imply anything? She's like, oh, no, I was just asking. I was like, okay. It was so dishonest. I didn't even engage with it. I was like, you're so whatever, dude.
Bro, are you just not being charitable to her because she's a woman?
True.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.